August 5th, 2012, about 10:26 in the morning, the Oak Creek Police Department received a call of a fight happening at the Sikh Temple of Wisconsin. I was going to be the first to respond, and as I was getting closer, the call got upgraded to shots fired. Once I entered the temple grounds, I drove up the driveway and I saw two men laying on the ground. I got out of my car and went and checked on them, and it appeared to me that both men were deceased. I called for an ambulance, and just as I was finishing my radio call and telling the rest of my guys to come in behind me, the shooter came out of the front of the temple. As soon as, and I knew at that point it was something that was going to be more than I could handle on my own. I called for the rest of the guys to come and requested an ambulance come. And it was just as I finished the radio transmission that I saw Wade Michael Page come running out of the front of the temple, moving away from me towards what later was believed to be his vehicle. Called for him to stop. Saw a gun in his hand. He raised and I raised our weapons, and we both shot about the same time. My round missed and his hit me in the jaw. I went down, ripped apart my voice box, and that's lodged in my neck. I stood up to locate him, and he was standing behind me, and he shot, took the top half of my thumb off, and continued shooting. This went on for a few minutes. Ultimately, I was hit 15 times, 3 in my bulletproof vest and 12 in me, before Officer Sam Lenda came. Sam came and Page shot at him, and Officer Lenda returned fire and put him down, and shortly thereafter Page killed himself. I was fortunate that the Oak Creek Fire Department was already on the scene. They were able to, my guys were able to drag me out and get me in the ambulance and sent me off to Freighted Trauma Center. I was in the hospital for 17 days before being released. I have 2 bullets still in me, one in the back of my head and the first bullet still in my neck. And for me, the one thing that came about was having to deal with the fact that I would no longer be in law enforcement. And the one thing while I was in the hospital that in recovery is there were especially nights where they would have to clear my trachea tube, and that's not a good process whatsoever. And my brother-in-law had taken all the cards and letters that I had received, many from the Sikh community, and posted them up on the wall. So when they would come in and I wouldn't really want to do it and I was feeling bad, I could look up and know I had so many people behind me that made me go on and try and, tough it out and make it through another day. I was fortunate because all told, 6 people at the temple did not make it out. And it's hard for me to feel bad when I knew of all those families that had lost a loved one and would do anything to have them back. So there was never a point where I couldn't understand I need to move forward just because it was the right thing to do. And the one thing that greatly is failed to be appreciated is the correlation of Sikh beliefs and beliefs of, let's say, the American public at large. God-fearing people, hardworking, believing in community, believing in raising your children right, believing in all the things that 99.9% of the American population hold to themselves and hold very sacred, are the same exact things that are the basic tenets of Sikhism. And it's funny, right now I have the ability to go and speak to many people in law enforcement, And one of the first things that I talk about is how 99% of the individuals that you see wearing headdress are not, in fact, Muslim, they're Sikh. And when you explain it, you always see that look of astonishment in the audience. And really that comes from most people don't know anything about Sikhism. Even though it's the fifth largest religion in the world, they still don't have any understanding. They see certain dress and correlate it to something completely different. I think it's important too, though, one of the best ways to go about educating them is through the National Sikh Campaign. It has that national platform to reach as many people as possible. And really, that's the only way of spreading the message quickly and to make it so everyone who sees this can understand it very simply.